Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is super exciting for me because I have a handful of brand new niche fragrance releases to share with you, and they are mind-blowing. Like, I've never smelled anything like these before. Some incredible and some like shocking. I'll say that. Unusual. Very unusual, absolutely shocking, but also very, very good. All of these fragrances can be found at Rafinad Perfumerie. You guys know how much I love that niche shop. I work with them all the time, and they have a really immaculate selection of niche fragrances, and these ones just came out. They are brand spanking new. So excited to share them with you. Men's and women's fragrances, obviously niche, very unisex. The ones that I have here, they are a broad spectrum of different types of fragrances. So definitely there's going to be something for everyone's nose. Let's get right into it. The very first one is from Essential Parfums. This is Fig Infusion. Fig and I, we don't always get along. I really want to love Fig, but sometimes it just doesn't rub me the right way. But oh my goodness, this fragrance, this one is something else. I just opened the cap and I can already smell it. The performance on this is wonderful. It is a true milky fig. Like, it makes me think of a fig leaf and like the milkiness of that. And it's so beautiful. There's a touch of greenness in here. This has a milky sandalwood as well, not a dill-like sandalwood, which I find as well as a note that I struggle with. I need it to be milky, and in here it's milky. There's a nice black tea note and the fruitiness of the fig and that milkiness and the woodiness. That combination is perfect. It's very balanced. It smells similar in a way to Diptyque's Philosopos, but more tea-like. Philosopos to me has a little bit of a coconut vibe. This doesn't have any coconut. This is like a fig tea. A bright, bursting, fruity fig tea with a nice creamy sandalwood. Tea and fig together oftentimes make an incredible combination. They've done such a fantastic job with this. I really like this one, and basically the whole lineup of Essential Parfums. I've tried them all, and I can't say I dislike any of them. They have really, really beautiful blends. The Fig Infusion is definitely one of my favorites from the whole table behind me. Now let's go with one that is shocking. This one smells shocking. This is from Marc-Antoine Barrois, best known for Ganymede. I love that fragrance. That is a masterpiece. That fragrance smells like, I've talked about it before, and that one smells out of this world. It smells literally like an alien fragrance. It has this interplanetary mineral aspect to it. Very, very cool. And this one is also incredibly unusual. It's by Quentin Bisch, so he's one of my absolute favorite perfumers, and I was very intrigued when this one came out. And this mainly is vetiver, rhubarb, and it has a very unusual smokiness to it. The concept behind this fragrance is a rainforest near a volcano, and this comes across all the way. It's very intense. It smells like the smokiness of a volcano and that kind of billowing smoke, almost that ashiness, and a humid, fruity, kind of sweet green wetness of a rainforest. It's a work of art, this fragrance. Very, very unusual. Not the greatest for hot, humid summer days, I'll say, and definitely masculine leaning. An incredible creation, very weird, but very cool, and it makes me want to keep smelling it again and again. I will be 1000% honest with you guys, as I always am. It's not a fragrance I can wear myself. I definitely cannot wear this myself. This is too masculine for me, too smoky and intense, but it's something about this weird scent, that this shocking, almost like slap in the face, that makes me want to keep sniffing it again. And if I smelled this on a guy, I would be very intrigued. I would be like, who is this rainforest man? And what is he smoking? I would be very impressed with a man who could pull this off. This is out there. It's really out there, but it's good. It's a good scent. It's weird, it's good, it's quirky, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked. This next one's a little bit safer. This is from Masque Milano, and this is Slight of Fern. It's more of a traditional masculine fougere fragrance. It has birch, it has oak moss, geranium, and nice little prickle to it. It has a very unusual little prickle. This has a note of fig as well, but it's more in the background. It's very much about the oak moss for sure. Also a little bit of smokiness. That birch scent really comes through, and I do really, really like this one. It's more of a classic fougere fragrance. It has a really nice herbal freshness in the opening. There's thyme in here, obviously lavender, and it smells like herbs, like true herbs from a garden. If you have your own garden and you grow thyme and, you know, rosemary and whatever, and you crush those herbs, that scent, it's really what you get. It's so natural. It's a beautifully crafted fragrance, really natural smelling. There's not an ounce of synthetics and that like nasty scent that sometimes just synthetics can have. It really smells like a gentleman out on a nature walk. Men, you definitely need to add this to your repertoire because it does have that classic man vibe, but it's not like the stuff you've already smelled a million times. It has a really unique quality about it. Now, my love of loves, Anam Cara from Dusita. This one is up at the top for me. This one I've been wearing so much. It's the queen of white florals. This has everything. It's dense, it's sweet, it's delightful, and it's not overbearing, which is like, how can you be so dense and sweet and intense and not overbearing? Doesn't give me a headache. It's so addictive. It has tuberose, it has jasmine, orange flower, and it has blood orange, a really bursting, fruity opening of that blood orange that it really smells like the whole thing, the rind, the flesh, everything. It's juicy, it's sweet, there's vanilla in here, but there's also a little bit of a rooty sort of vetiver in the background. It's just such an interesting blend of notes. At first you smell it and you think, oh, it's just sweet, but it's so much more complex. It unfolds and it takes you on an incredible white floral journey. Anybody who loves white florals and loves an orange flower note will surely enjoy this. I'm not even somebody who really enjoys orange blossom, but the way that it's balanced here with the other florals, it's my favorite. It is literally my favorite. It's probably one of my favorite new releases that I've actually been wearing so much lately. And this one's actually from 2021. It's not the newest Dusita release, but I just hopped on the train now and it's relatively new, so I wanted to include it because oh, it is mind-blowing. But I do have the newest Dusita as well. And that one is called Montri, and it is a spicy oud. Really nice as well. More for the cooler weather for sure. Not a really intense animalic oud like the Oud Infinity from the same brand, which I cannot do. That one is... This is not so... This one is a lot more tame. I have an 8-month-old, so we talk in sound effects now. You guys understand what means, right? Anyway, this scent, it's mostly rose, oud, saffron, that typical combination, but a really nice spicy blend. This is not super sweet or anything. It doesn't have any kind of, you know how oud can have this almost moist scent sometimes? This doesn't have that. This is quite dry. And it smells like a beautiful spice journey. I imagine drinking like a... Have you ever had that fermented rose water beverage that is kind of sparkling? You can make it yourself from roses. Anyway, I recently had this. This is why it's fresh on my mind. And just kind of on a journey somewhere, on a Eastern adventure. It's quite exotic. It's unusual but familiar at the same time. And it's a pleasure. Like for me, I'm going to be reaching for this a lot in the cooler weather, and I'm not somebody who's heavy into ouds. I'm very cautious with ouds, and there are very few that do work on me. I think this is perfectly unisex. As a female, I could easily wear this, but I would love to smell this on men as well. And I think that this is probably my second favorite from Dusita. These two newest ones, they really resonate with me. I did even wear this one on a hot summer day and it worked fine. It didn't offend me. It wasn't too intense, but I do prefer this type of scent for cooler weather. The next fragrance I have here comes from a newer niche house. It's called Bastille, and they are also a clean fragrance brand. They limit the amount of ingredients in their fragrances. They are very transparent about the ingredients in their fragrances. And I love that. I love clean fragrances these days. I do reach a lot more for cleaner scents and non-toxic and all of that. So this one for me, I was very excited about, and the notes really intrigued me. It's called Demain Promis, and it has a milky note, it has lavender, cardamom, cinnamon, tonka, all of these really interesting spices. And when I see milk listed in the notes, I get so intrigued because I love a nice milky quality. Cardamom and milk, sign me up. And this is what this is. And it smells almost as if it has like a starchy rice note to it. Like when I smelled this immediately, I thought of rice, but there is no rice note as far as I know. But it smells that way. All of those notes combined give you this sort of milky rice effect, almost like a rice pudding. You know those rice puddings, if you put a little bit of cinnamon on top? I kind of get that, and it's a very comforting scent. I like this one in the evenings. It's powdery, it's gentle, it's not like an intense scent. It's kind of close to the skin. I wore this the other night actually, and my man really liked this one on me. He said it was very cozy smelling, and it is incredibly cozy. So if you're somebody who likes that kind of rice note effect, this doesn't have an official rice note, but it really, really smells that way, and it's just a super comforting, gentle, spicy, milky scent. So yeah, I love this one. This is my favorite from the collection. I smelled the whole Bastille lineup. I don't know where I put my sample set. I was gonna go through each one, but I seem to have misplaced it. But this is the main one, and I love this one. It's just super comforting and easy wearing. And we have a brand new one from Francesca Bianchi. I love this brand because they push boundaries. She really pushes boundaries with her fragrances. They all have this vintage vibe to them, and it's super cool. I really love Angel's Dust from this brand, and this one here is called Libertine Neroli. And this one is a leather fragrance with neroli, of course. It has a green, deep opening. It almost smells like a forest, like a wet forest, and then you get a little bit of a smoky leather, a smooth leather, not anything sharp. This is definitely masculine, and I love it. I love this. I can't wait for it to be a little bit colder. I'm gonna give this to my man to wear, and I think it would work fabulously in the fall weather. It's very elegant, very classy. This is a man in a suit with a nice leather man bag. It has a spiciness to it. It has a little bit of an animalic edge. Very, very cool fragrance. It's out there, of course, like all of her fragrances. They have a vintage vibe. They have this animalic quality to them. But it's very wearable at the same time. It's not like out there and shocking and you can't wear it. Like, you can easily wear this one. It's very unusual though. And there's something very addictive about this like animal note that's in here. I can't quite pinpoint it, but in the background lingering, there's a little bit of a scent of, kids, it's gonna sound weird, but you know when you go to the zoo and you smell some of the places that the animals hang out, just it smells kind of like the fur? I don't know how to explain it. That sounds like it's offensive, but it's not. It's kind of addictive and you want to keep smelling it. But it's a very, very, very background note. It's like very, very subtle. It just leaves a little bit of intrigue. Mostly it's leather and neroli, and the neroli is quite prominent in here. I'm just picking it apart and I can smell this sort of like dusty kind of animal scent. It's cool. Anyway, very unusual fragrance, great brand. I love their creations. They are bold. They are really bold, and you have to be a bold person to wear them. And the last one is kind of a fun one. I just have a sample, but it's called Panettone. And it literally smells like panettone. This is from Milano Fragranza, and this, I was so curious about this one when I heard about it last year, and so I received a sample of it, and it smells like Christmas when you get those massive panettone fruit cakes from the grocery store, and they have those little tiny fruits in them, and it smells a little bit boozy, and it smells like almost like orange liqueur in a way. That's what this smells like. I absolutely love it. I don't want to waste my sample because I want to wear this around Christmas time. I'm obsessed. It smells exactly like how I imagined it. There's bitter orange, mandarin, ginger, carrot seeds. This was one of those rare times when you smell a fragrance and it ticks all the boxes of exactly how you imagined that it would smell, and it makes you so happy. So yeah, this one is just super fun. It smells like panettone, so rightfully named panettone. And those of you who are interested in smelling like a delicious rum cake with little fruits, then this one's for you. And I definitely do want to smell like this, but only around Christmas time. So there you have some of the newest niche releases. They are mind-blowing in their own way, all of them. They're so unique. This has been a really great year for niche releases, actually. Not the strongest year for designer fragrances, in my opinion, but an incredible year for niche scents. I hope you guys do check some of these out. My favorite, like I said, is Anam Cara from Dusita. That one is just incredible. Ladies, I really, really recommend you smell that one, especially if you do like a sweeter scent and white florals. Really amazing. And Fig Infusion, that was another one that for me was like, wow. I was so impressed with that fig and tea scent. Loved it. They're all really good. They are actually all really good. And you know, obviously some more wearable than others. If you guys have tried any of these, I would love to hear your opinion on these scents and what is your favorite. And what's your favorite newest niche fragrance that you've recently smelled? Let me know, and I'd love to check it out. I love discovering new scents. You guys often put me on really great recommendations, so leave those comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget that these are all from Rafinad Perfumerie. You can check them out. I'll make sure everything is linked in the description for you. That's it for today. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.